Alright, so welcome back to another video of SAT practice. These are 4 more pretty difficult questions that you need to know before you take the next SATs. So let's begin. Question 7. If x to the a squared over x to the b squared is equal to x to the 16, x is greater than 1, and a plus b is equal to 2, what is the value of a minus b? So this question is going to take a little bit of time to solve, but what we need to do is we first need to figure out what this means. X to the a squared over x to the b squared. So we have to remember the rule where if we're dividing exponents, so let's just say x to the a divided by x to the b, all we have to do are subtract them. So this is equal to x to the a minus b. So in this case, x to the a squared over x to the b squared, all we have to do are subtract them, giving us an answer of x to the a squared minus b squared. That's all equal to x to the 16. So in this case, because both our bases are the same, we get that a squared minus b squared is equal to 16. Now, we know that a plus b is equal to 2, so we don't really have to do anything with that. But we could factor out a squared minus b squared. What is that equal to? That's equal to a plus b times a minus b. So these are 2 special properties you need to know. First is the exponents rules, which is this, and also your difference of squares. A squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So this is equal to 16. Now I know the value of a plus b is equal to 2, so I substitute this in. So 2 times a minus b is equal to 16. That gives me a minus b is equal to 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Now I have a minus b is equal to 8, and a plus b is equal to 2. Now I could easily just solve. Actually, I don't even need to solve for a plus b, or a or b, because a minus b is what the question's asking for, and your answer has to be a, an answer of 8. Now moving on, question 19, right there. Question 19, if triangle ABC above, what is the value of angle AD, or measure AD, which is this segment right here, which I'll highlight in a darker color. So basically, in order to find this, I see that we have 30, 60, and 90. So immediately, this makes me think of a 30, 60, 90 triangle, so which I'll draw right here. Let's just say this is 30, this is 60, this is 90. So the angle, the side opposite of the angle 30, I'll call x. Right, that means that the hypotenuse has to be double x, so it has to be 2x, and the side opposite of 60 has to be x root 3. This is the rule when it comes to a 30, 60, 90 triangle, and their specific angle measures as well as that relationship to the side measures. So basically, if I see that opposite of a 12 is the 90 degree, what does this mean? This angle has to be 30 as well, right? Because 30, 60, 90. And then opposite of that has to be half the hypotenuse, right? Because if this is 2x, this is half. We divide that by 2. So this has to be 6. Well, I know that this is 30, 60, 90. And how do I know that? Because this is 90, because it's a straight angle. 90 plus 90 is 180. This is 60. So that means this has to be 30, 60, 90 triangle as well. And now, how can I prove that these 2 triangles are the same? How can I prove that side AD is equal to side DC? Well, we have the same angle and the same angle. And as you know, angle needs to prove triangles are similar. And because these 2 measures, angle, side angle, we prove that they are congruent. Meaning answer has to be 6 for the measure of AD, because AD has to be congruent to DC. Meaning answer is B. Moving on, question 12. This one's a little more lengthier. A website uses the formula above to calculate a seller's rating, R, based on the number of favorable reviews, F, and unfavorable reviews, N. Which of the following expresses the number of favorable reviews in terms of the other variables? Basically, the question is asking us to isolate a variable. And which variable is that? The unfavorable reviews. Actually, no, it's asking for the number of favorable reviews. What's that represented by? F. So basically, the question is just asking us to isolate F given this equation. I see that R is equal to F over N plus F. And once I see this, I could just move N plus F onto the other side by multiplying it, N plus F onto the other side. This gives me R times N plus F is equal to, these 2 cancel out, just equal to F. Now I could factor this out by multiplying. Distribute, give me R times N, which is Rn, plus R times F, which is Rf, is equal to F. Now I can move everything with F onto one side. So what I'll do is I'll move this Rf onto that side. So if I subtract it, that gives me Rn Rn is equal to F minus Rf. Now, next thing I'll do is I'll isolate F by factoring out F's on this side. F times what is F? It's 1. Minus F times what is Rf? It's going to be just R. Is equal to Rn. Now, you see how I have F right there. I can just get it alone by dividing by 1 minus R on each side. Because 1 minus R canceled out with 1 minus R, give me F on this side. It's equal to Rn over 1 minus R, meaning answer has to be B. F is equal to Rn over 1 minus R. Basically, if you can look at it, what I did was that first I made sure that you never have anything in the denominator, because when you have something on the bottom, it usually makes it a little bit harder, so I multiplied it and got rid of it. Next thing I did was I distributed to make sure that I didn't have any parentheses. Then I moved everything with the variable I wanted to isolate onto one side, and then I factored out that variable from the given equation on each side, and I just divided by the things that didn't have the variable in it, and that gave me the answer of B. Now, lastly, we have this question right here, which I can clearly tell is going to be a systems of the equation. So, question 2. Which of the following ordered pairs x, y satisfies the systems of equation above? Right, so what are we going to use? We're probably going to use something called elimination, right? I want the x's and the x's to align on both equations. Now, how do we get from x to 3x? I could just multiply this equation by 3. If I multiply the top equation by 3, 3 times x is 3x. 3 times y gives me 3y, and that's equal to 3 times 0, which is 0. Now, on the bottom, we have 3x minus 2y is equal to 10. And I don't do anything to that because 3x and 3x align, and that's all I need. Next, it's called elimination because I'm just going to subtract. 3x minus 3x cancels out. 3y minus negative 2y. Be careful of the signs because negative creates a positive. 3y plus 2y gives us 5y. That's equal to 0 minus 10, which is negative 10. Now, to get y by itself, I just divide both sides by 5, giving me y is equal to negative 10 over 5, which is negative 2. Now, looking at your answer choices, y has to be negative 2. So that eliminates choices, just choice C, right? Everything else has negative 2. Now, what I could do is I just plug in y equal to negative 2 into any of my equations, right? So I just plug it into this one right here. So now I get 3x minus 2 times negative 2, because that's the value of y, is equal to 10. Now I get 3x negative 2 times negative 2 gives me positive 4. Negative times negative is positive is equal to 10. Minus 4 on both sides give me 3x is equal to 10 minus 4, which is positive 6. Divide by 3 to get x is equal to 2. It's giving me an answer of 2 as the x value and negative 2 as the y value. Meaning the answer has to be choice B. Now, looking back at it, it's pretty simple because all you have to do is align the variables. As long as you have x's and x's aligned, 3x and 3x, you can just subtract the two equations. You have the value of your y value. And then once you have your y value, substitute it back into any of your equations. This one, this one, this one, it doesn't matter. Any of the equations work. And once you get that, you'll get the value of x, and you'll have your answer of B. So thank you guys for watching these 4 questions. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments. Otherwise, have a great day, and see you guys soon.